Today's program is brought to you by pennystockprofessor.com. For all the best OTCBB stock picks, sign up at pennystockprofessor.com.
Thank you for tuning in to another TBC Daily News Update. I'm Brandon Vincent.
And I'm Angelina Soriano.
Stocks surged Monday, with the Dow getting more than 100 points as aluminum giant Alcoa led a broad-based rally at the start of what is expected to be a quiet week. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 120 points at midday, the S&P was up 15 points, and the NASDAQ was up another 30. Shares of healthcare companies Cigna, Aetna, and United Health Group all moved sharply higher after the Senate voted to end debate on revisions to a major healthcare reform bill, a key step towards finalization of the controversial legislation. A flurry of corporate mergers also helped fuel the bullish sentiment. The rally comes at the beginning of a holiday-shortened week on Wall Street. The stock market closes early on Thursday and will remain dark on Friday for the Christmas holiday. Many market participants will take the entire week off, which means the number of shares trading hands will be low, and relatively small moves could cause major volatility. Visual effects pioneer James Cameron will share stories of overcoming daunting technological and business challenges. A machinist, a truck driver, and then a winner of 11 Oscars, Hollywood filmmaker James Cameron is now a featured special guest at SolidWorks World 2010. Taking place January 31st through February 3rd in Anaheim, California, Cameron's films, including Titanic, Aliens, and the Terminator franchise, have amassed over $3 billion in box office receipts. Not every Tinseltown luminary could inspire an audience of 4,000 plus SolidWorks software users, but Cameron is an innovator's innovator. As part of his Hollywood resume, he has invented a plethora of technology for exploring the depth of the seas and outer space, including Mars. Cameron's films have blazed new trails in visual effects and set numerous performance records. Among Cameron's inventions, filmmaking lighting and robotic equipment for use in the extreme pressures and depth, a 3D digital camera system to enable shooting of 2D and 3D versions in parallel, and a mini-fiber spooling remotely operated vehicle for deep-sea use. SolidWorks World provides a tremendous opportunity for users to network and share best practices. Nearly the entire DS SolidWorks R&D staff will be on site to talk to attendees, learn about their experiences, and demonstrate interesting projects. As always, general sessions will stimulate and entertain. The sessions will include a sneak preview of SolidWorks 2011 software and presentations from DS SolidWorks CEO Jeff Ray, Dassault Systems President CEO Bernard Charles, and the DS SolidWorks co-founder and group executive. The Democratic-controlled Senate, voting 60-40, swept aside Republican objections and moved to close off debate on a health overhaul legislation, marking a milestone moment for President Obama's most pressing domestic initiative. All 58 Democrats and 2 independents voted to approve the first and most crucial of 3 motions needed to break off action as the Senate entered a 4th week of debate on the bill. All Republicans voted no. The roll call, which began shortly after 1 a.m. Monday, was effectively a test vote for the sweeping bill. The action made clear the White House has enough votes to ensure passage, likely on Christmas Eve, of the broadest health legislation in a generation. The measure would ensure that some 30 million Americans will gain insurance coverage over the next decade. While taxes will rise on groups ranging from medical device makers to customers of tanning salons, President Obama said that the Senate action was a big victory for the American people. He said the bill would reduce the deficit long term, countering criticism that the legislation is too expensive. The more than 2,000-page Senate bill needs to be reconciled with White House-passed legislation, but is likely to form the core of any bill presented to the President for his signature. With the vote looming, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell urged Democrats to put party loyalty aside and join with the Republicans in derailing the bill. It's not too late, he said, warning the Democrats that they would pay a price for moving the bill forward. Democrats accused Republicans of engaging in scare tactics and insisted that the legislation would meet an urgent national need. Senator Tom Harkin said, "We're going to move forward. We're not going to vote on fear. We're going to vote on hope." President Barack Obama won't leave his native Washington for a Hawaii vacation until the Senate works on the health care overhaul, even if that means staying in town for Christmas Eve. The Senate is on track to pass its version of the health care bill on Christmas Eve. The president and his family are expected to spend the holidays in Obama's native Hawaii, but the White House has not provided details of their final plans. White House Representative Robert Gibbs told reporters that the president believes that the legislative process has progressed to the point where it is no longer a question of whether health care reform will pass, but when. Sales of previously owned U.S. homes jumped last month to their third highest level in nearly 3 years. The latest sign of economic recovery was gaining steam. After growing below expectations in the third quarter, the National Association of Realtors said on Tuesday that existing home sales increased 7.4% to an annual rate of 6.45 million units, the fastest pace since February 2007, from 6.09 million units in October. The rise was above market expectations for 6.25 million units. Separately, the Commerce Department's final estimates show gross domestic product at 2.2% annual rate in the third quarter instead of the 2.8% pace it reported last month.
Today's Dynamic Watch List is brought to you by OTCBB.com, Quote Media Incorporation, QMCI, Mobile Pro Corporation, MOBL, XKEM, RGRP, ACHI, IMNR, Unigene Laboratories Incorporation, UGNE, CKEIE, Opexa Therapeutics Incorporation, OPXA, Cargo Connection Logistics Holding Incorporation, CRGO, MGEN, Axial Vector Engine Corporation, AXVC, and NVAO.
Attention if you have diabetes.
Hello, I'm Alan Thicke. As the father of a child with diabetes, it's important that I keep up to date with the latest in treatments and technology. That's why I'm happy to tell you about a breakthrough in diabetes care through CCS Medical. You don't need to stick your fingers anymore. This new meter allows you to test on your arm, so it's virtually pain-free. Plus, it uses gold test strips. Real laser-etched gold in every strip provides the ideal testing surface for one of the most accurate readings possible. Best of all, CCS Medical can send you this meter at no cost. With CCS Medical, they deliver your diabetes supplies to your home. They work with Medicare or your insurance to process the paperwork. They even have nurses certified in diabetes available to answer questions. And for a limited time, CCS Medical will also send you a diabetes cookbook. All this from a company trusted and recommended by thousands of doctors around the country. Call CCS Medical today.
Healthcare shares rose on Monday as a bill to reform healthcare passed the first critical test in the Senate. Without many of the provisions, such as government-run health insurance option, that investors most feared would hurt the profits. The S&P Healthcare Index rose 1.4%, while the Morgan Stanley Healthcare Payer Stock Index rose 3.6%. The S&P also managed healthcare index rise of 4.6%.
Thank you for tuning in to another TBC Daily News Update. I'm Brandon Vincent.
And I'm Angelina Soriano.